COP27 has kicked off in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. The annual climate summit follows a wave of extreme weather disasters, ongoing global food shortages and the war in Ukraine. Nevertheless, this year's president says attending delegates are aware of the coming challenges and have the political will to fight.
It is worth mentioning that for the sake of efficient implementation of pledges and commitments, we need more efficient and wider participation by all relevant parties, from the non-state actors whose roles are equally important to those of participating states, namely the private sector.
Whilst 120 world leaders are registered to attend the 13-day conference, top figures like China's Xi Jinping and his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi have planned not to come. Critics have now cast doubts on whether the talks will amount to any major global deals.
The Congolese army has announced a general mobilisation of youth to fight the rebels from the March 23rd movement, or M23, who are gaining ground in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. It follows calls by DRC President Felix Tshisekedi for youth militant groups. The nation is in danger, he says, and it needs its worthy sons and daughters to serve it under the flag to defend the integrity of the territory. The armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo are already recruiting a large number of young people to serve under the flag. As I speak, there are more than 2,000 of them only in Goma. M23 rebels have captured swathes of new territory in recent weeks. Good neighbourliness is not always the message that others pick up, so we must choose deterrence. Why not have an army of 500,000 or even 1 million Congolese? Foreign ministers of the DRC and Rwanda agreed on Saturday to boost efforts to de-escalate tensions and resolve their political crisis, with the DRC accusing its smaller neighbour of backing a rebel militia. Hundreds of Ghanaians took to the streets of the capital Accra on Saturday, calling for the resignation of President Nana Akufo-Addo following record inflation and the government's handling of the economic crisis. After once promising a Ghana without aid, last week President Akufo-Addo urged Ghanaians to support his decision to seek an IMF loan.
There is conflict of interest in the way our president is ruling with his cousin. When they go for loans, 9% of the money goes to his own private bank business, which is very wrong. So we just want them to step down. It is not a matter of fight, or maybe we just want to be on the streets ranting for nothing. He should just step down so that peace will come, and let someone else come and do it.
For every cedi and dollar we borrow, the president's family benefits through data bank, which advises and helps to sell the government security. So we are here to tell the president that he should step down. Enough of the cronyism, enough of the nepotism, enough of the corruption.
Ghana is seeking a $3 billion loan from the IMF to cope with record inflation of 37% and the collapse of its currency, the cedi. Most of the demonstrators wore red T-shirts with the slogan, "You might as well kill me."
The educational system has been run aground. Our economy is in a ditch. You cannot buy a gallon of petrol. A bag of maize cannot be bought. So 3 square meals now is a problem. Survival is for the fittest. And that is not what we voted for him for.
The president's move to seek IMF help has raised fears the government will impose austerity measures which will further burden a population already struggling with soaring prices. A passenger plane with 43 people on board crashed into Tanzania's Lake Victoria on Sunday before landing in the northwestern town of Bukoba. The accident is being blamed on bad weather. Rescuers worked to recover survivors and lift the plane out of the water using cables and cranes. It is true that there's been an accident in Kagera province, he says, and everything is under control as all rescues and safety equipment have been deployed to help out. We've managed to save quite a number of people, and we will give a brief statement after we finish with our rescue efforts. The French-Italian-built AOTR-42 plane was operated by Precision Air, which is Tanzania's largest private airline and is partly owned by Kenya Airways and operates flights to popular tourist destinations. When the aircraft was about 100 meters mid-air, it had encountered problems and bad weather, he says. It was raining and the plane plunged into the water. Everything is under control. The Army's head of rescue missions and firefighters from the province of Kagera are on the scene. They're fully equipped to deal with rescues and safety. Rescue efforts are currently underway in order to retrieve the aircraft. At least 26 people have been rescued and evacuated to a hospital. President Samia Suluhu Hassan has expressed her condolences to those affected by the crash and asked people to remain calm while the rescue operation continues. Two generations of Cameroonians have been born under the presidency of Paul Biya, who on Sunday was marking 40 years of undivided rule. Known as the Sphinx, Biya is now 89 years old and in poor health. Some people think it might be a good time for a change, but fear the instability that might follow. After 40 years, nothing has changed, she says. It's getting worse and worse, worse and worse, with life becoming more and more expensive. We don't even live on hope anymore. You can't live on hope. You can't live on hope in this country. Many younger Cameroonians have never known a leader other than Biya, but after 7 re-elections, they're beginning to say it is time to see someone else in charge. I was born in 1988 and I have only known His Excellency Biya in power, he says, and I would like to know another president. For me, it is important. I'm not in politics, but I want to see at least another person governing. But longevity in power can also provide stability, especially when compared to neighbouring Nigeria, Chad and the Central African Republic. And some citizens feel major change is a long way off. There's tribalism and racism that must be eliminated in this country, he says, because as long as we don't get rid of that, even if the youth take over, it will always be the same thing. But Cameroon is not entirely stable. Bloody conflicts in the north and west and a population with more than 8 million poor people has fueled calls for a major change in leadership.